Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
No, Coach Morton, we would never kid you. Chris Berman, Boomer McFarland, Happy New Year. Let us be the last to say that to you. And holy makahiki-ho, as we say in the islands, it's playoff time. How cool is this? Week 16, we made it.
Absolutely. New Year, boom, 2021, baby.
It can only be the best, right, compared to what we've just seen. Now, in a season, Booger, in which they played on every day of the week, how about all 16 games on a Sunday? You think we're jam-packed?
Oh, let's go.
Producer's already yelling on it. Hurry up, will you? Look, the big deal. The longest drought in the NFL. Cleveland Browns. 2002, they hadn't been in. Win against arch rival Pittsburgh, and they would be in. Could the Browns actually do it? They didn't care if the Steelers were resting, folks. They knew the Steelers would bring it. This is a rivalry. And yes, Baker Mayfield, Mason Rudolph starting for Ben Roethlisberger, getting the rest. Nick Chubb, they can run it with the best of them. And Chubb, 1,000-yard season, 47-yard touchdown. Cleveland leads 7-0.
Outstanding blocking on the right side, and Chubb did the rest. They're doing what they do best on the way to the postseason, which is run the ball.
And against the Steelers, the first Brown to rush for a touchdown of 40-plus yards or more since Jim Brown in the late 50s. Meanwhile, back to 2020, Baker Mayfield. He ran beautifully this day.
Smart play by Baker. Don't force anything. Use your athletic ability.
And then Baker, time, slings Austin Hooper. Cleveland leads it 17-9. Buck 44 left in the third now. Mason Rudolph feeling pressure, picked off. MJ Stewart. The Browns in business. Down to the 20. Contact. Pittsburgh wanted a call. They didn't get it.
Great pressure package by defensive coordinator Joe Woods. Probably should have got the call there, but guess what? They didn't.
And guess what? First to go from the 3. Tricky Browns. Jarvis Landry into the end zone. Touchdown. It's a laugher. No. When you hit 24-9, but when you haven't been in, these things get tight. Rudolph to Chase Claypool. How about that catch from the rookie?
Anytime you get one-on-one with Chase Claypool, throw it up and see if they can go to the deep end where he can go, boom.
24-16. Kevin Stefanski said we got 4 minutes, and then the folks who got in here will be so happy. Mayfield's pass to Rashard Higgins, incomplete. Steeler defense gets a stop. 3 minutes to go. Mason Rudolph. Rudolph, the red-nosed quarterback, throws it to Deontay Johnson. 47 yards. Here come the Steelers. Minute and a half to go. Rudolph. Juju Smith-Schuster. They're down 24-22. Can they tie it with a 2-point conversion? Let's watch. Coach, quarterback, Rudolph. Claypool. High. Incomplete, no flag.
You're Mason Rudolph. You got to hit the guy in the flat. He had the tight end open for a minute. Probably should have got a call, but I'm okay with a no call there, boom.
So they're down by 2. The onside kick almost impossible to recover in this day and age. But look out, Stephen Carlson, sit on it, literally. Boy, this was close, but the Browns end up with it.
Yeah, definitely close. You can't double catch it. You got to catch it on the first go around.
3rd and 1.5. And here you go. All the big plays. It will come down to a 1.5-yard run by Baker Mayfield. And this is a very nice sight. As you know,
absolutely.
Last year's history between Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph, the fans there, all the city. Don't expect a lot of productivity in whatever office work we got the next few days in Cleveland because 2002 is by the boards. Browns in the playoffs, 24-22. Baker Mayfield, they did it.
First, I'll start by saying that, the cliche thing, but I truly do mean this, and everybody in our locker room does mean it. We're not satisfied. We expected to be here. We've worked extremely hard to get here, and we're excited to have the chance to be in the playoffs. But, the feeling of walking off the field, the energy in the stadium, they're playing Cleveland Rocks. There's an old school video going on, and I can look up and see old school highlights of, you got Brian Sipe, Bernie Kosar, some old schoolers on there. It's just, and for it to be that loud with a limited amount of fans, it's a special moment for us.
Well, they had 12,000 in there, but they have Browns fans all over. And let us, come on. There we go. When you wait for 18 years, it takes a minute to get the cork out. Congratulations to the Browns. Pittsburgh gave it a fight, but Baker's feet were even more important than his arm.
Well, especially when there was nothing there downfield. If you're Baker Mayfield, don't force the football. This team only gets in trouble when he turns the football over. Boom, they can run the football. Defensively, they can pressure the quarterback. They can get after you and stop the run. They are made to be in the postseason. And today was a day. I don't care who played for Pittsburgh. Today was big for Cleveland. I'm proud of Baker Mayfield, Kevin Stefanski, the game plan. In a crucial situation, he gave the ball to Baker with his legs. An outstanding performance by Baker.
And they've been in a hot team, and then they like it was a stupor against the Jets. When you haven't done something for a while,
it's hard to do.
It ain't easy. All right, now, guess what? They get to play Pittsburgh again. Ben is 23-2-1 against the Cleveland Browns. The game is in Pittsburgh next weekend, where they've lost the last 17, including last time in the playoffs. It was a wild game, and they lost, so that was the 2002 playoffs. Can they possibly break through?
Absolutely, because this Steeler team hasn't been clicking on all cylinders since early in the season. Remember, the second half against the Colts was helped by 4 penalties and a couple of deep balls. Cleveland can win the game next weekend as long as Baker, remember, they don't wear black and gold. They wear orange, white, or brown.
That's right. And, of course, other than that second half,
exactly.
Pittsburgh offensively, they've been in a little funk.
Yes.
Ben, though, look, they really didn't have a bye. This rest can only do veteran Ben Roethlisberger. That's going to be a fun game. All right. Dolphins, could they win and get in? It's been a little while, but they're at Buffalo, who's playing for the number 2 seed. Kansas City, of course, is the 1. Tua had to do it himself. No Woodstock because Fitzy, COVID, but the Bills had other ideas. It didn't matter if Dan Marino was a quarterback on this day, I'm telling you. Although early on, Josh Allen, they're very mum on who would start. Josh Allen picked up by Byron Jones, and that's a wonderful play.
That's an outstanding play. Not only jumping the route, but also getting 2 feet down. Great pick by Jones.
They do a field goal, 3-0. Dolphins, maybe this would be their day? No. 2nd and 5. Allen. Devin Singletary. Reason we show you a 6-yard pass. Drew Bledsoe's team passing record for yards. By the boards. Congratulations. Josh Allen has that. I'll get you the numbers in a moment when we finish up. Now, you know what was big today? Of course, Beasley's hurt. Isaiah McKenzie, one of the McKenzie brothers. 7-yard touchdown from Allen. 7-3. And now, McKenzie down the field, 19-yard gain. And then, he's thrown touchdown passes to 13 different players. McKenzie gets, think he has time? How about that throw? Unreal.
That's why they can beat anybody. The maturation of Josh Allen. And Stephon Diggs said, you know what? I'm flossing.
I'm flossing because we're going to be the 2nd seed and we're going to have a big smile. Now, McKenzie on a punt. And you know the McKenzie brothers, Rick Moranis, Dave Thomas, take off, you hoser. He is gone. Circling wagons, taking off. McKenzie, 2nd player in NFL history with 2 receiving touchdowns and a punt return touchdown in the first half since Hall of Famer Tommy McDonald, 1959. Allen, John Brown, he's back. Oh, him too?
Yeah, they got some weapons now.
By the way, it's only halftime. Tua had trouble throwing far, and even some of the Josh Norman dusted off the cobwebs. He's in.
What milk cart did they get Josh Norman off of?
Hey, look at him. He's going to play a factor.
He will.
They got a good defensive backfield.
Yeah,
really
good play. Receiver fell down and Norman capitalized.
The Tua, this was not the day. I mean, it kept going on. Matt Barkley played second half. Bills kept pouring it on. The most points they've had since 1966. 56-26. The Bills are your 2nd seed. They have won 9 of 10. They are 13-3. Josh Allen's totals 4,544 yards.
I mean, it just secured us a spot in playoffs. This is where you got to turn it on, and this is where you got to start winning games in playoffs. Otherwise, it really doesn't mean anything in the regular season. So we understand that. We got to go put our best foot forward. Whoever we play next week, we know we're here in Buffalo, and that's all we can focus on. Control what we can control, and like I said, go try to execute a game plan.
The emotions, but not just me, but a lot of the guys in the locker room. It's a bitter taste in our mouth. That's not a way we want it to go down.
Hey, look, the Dolphins were hardly expecting to get in the playoffs. They had one heck of a run. They still had a chance. Meanwhile, Baltimore won 4 in a row at Cincinnati. John Harbaugh, where's the best man?
I like that.
Harbs, they just got it going on. And why not? They've won 4 in a row, and Lamar Jackson. They ran unbelievably. We'll give you the number. You won't think it's a mistake. And when you run like that, well, then everyone's open. Miles Boykin, touchdown.
Offense starting to click in Baltimore. Scary for the rest of the NFL, Boom.
And Lamar throwing well. You know, that hero game against Cleveland. Marcus Hollywood Brown drive continuing. 3rd and 8. Again, they're running so well. That's a little sliding catch by Brown. 17-play drive. Their longest of the season. 17-3 at the half. And then it would be a laugher, as you might have expected the way Baltimore's been playing.
Right.
Look, since he's won 2 in a row, but Baltimore was a team on the mission. Win and in. Jackson runs for 1,000 yards again. Only Michael Vick had done it once as a quarterback. He's done it twice.
I can promise you this. Nobody wants to play Baltimore in the playoffs because of that. He is the X factor.
He ran for 97 yards. J.K. Dobbins. He ran a short one. He's going to run a longer one in a minute. 1st and goal from the 9. Lamar rolling. See, when you run, people are open. It's 31-3. That's Brown. And then we said Dobbins, youngster. Yeah. Well, look at this. Bang. He could go all the way. Dobbins. Ravens ran for 404 yards. Let that sink in. I said they ran for 404 yards. Unbelievable. They're in the playoffs as the 5 seed. They beat the Bengals 38-3. 5-game winning streak. Ravens over 1,300 yards rushing. Whoa.
And the offense is starting to click. Lamar Jackson is throwing the football better. Boom. It's the same formula. Run the football. Don't turn it over. But they have an X factor at quarterback in Lamar Jackson. The defense is playing better. I trust Wink Martindale. You get Ngakoue to go with Judon. You can rush the passer. They are a scary team because of how and the style that they play.
Speaking of scary, the Buffalo Bills have won 9 of 10. They're going to have their first home playoff game in 25 years. They're going to be a little under 7,000 fans, but they're going to do the best they can. If it was not for the Hail Mary, they'd be on a 10-game winning streak right now.
Playing well.
Since that loss to the Chiefs, which seems like ancient history.
Yes.
These Baltimore and Buffalo, hot teams. Speaking of hot, since they're bye, Tampa Bay, been very hot. Could they win and stay the 5 seed and go to the NFC East champ? Well, they're playing the Falcons for the 2nd time in 3 weeks. At the Sombrero. Tom Brady. Boy, did he throw the ball well today, Booger. Chris Godwin, nice. 7-0.
Anytime you get Godwin matched up against a linebacker, that's like taking candy from a baby. Great throw by Brady.
Now Mike Evans gets in the act. 7-3 game. Brady, Evans, Thomas zipped today. Not that he doesn't, but he looked great today.
Not bad for a 43-year-old, and Mike Evans has been outstanding his entire career.
He begins his career, 7 seasons, 1,000 yards receiving in each one of them. Unbelievable milestone, the first NFL player. And that's Evans dropping the touchdown, but he slips on the grass, and let's hope he's all right.
Yeah, they had a bowl game there yesterday, so the field was kind of soft. Word is, though, he's going to be okay. They think he may or may not be able to play next week. They don't know yet.
Bucks up 10-3. That was a field goal, but then don't worry. Oh, Evans is out. Who do we have? Well, Antonio Brown? Huh.
Listen,
okay.
Great play by AB. That was intended for Scotty Miller, but AB stole it, Boom.
23-10. Then Ronald Jones. Every now and then they run it in. They can do that, but it's still a game. 30-20. Atlanta gave it a go, but in the end, too much offense. Brady. Chris Godwin. 47 yards. And now, 3rd and goal. Zeke. Godwin. Touchdown. Tampa Bay wins going away. 44-27. The Bucks finish their bye with a 4-game winning streak. They're 11-5. And Tom, 40 touchdowns again. The first quarterback 40 years or more to throw for 40 touchdowns.
And doesn't it feel like the Bucks are hitting their stride right now? Doesn't it? Tom is playing well.
We've just shown 3 teams that are flying into the playoffs. Now, then we get to the NFC East, where the winner of Dallas at the Giants would have a shot, pending on the Sunday night result with the football team from Washington. Tricky G-men. They've been stumbling in, but Sterling Shepard on the end around, they missed the extra point, but they lead Dallas 6-0. Up 6-3. Daniel Jones. Mobility not what he wanted, but boy, did they hunker down. They looked good in the first half, leading 13-2.
Nice route by Sterling Shepard. A little pivot route in, back out, touchdown.
Jones, time. Line gave him time. That is nice. Dante Pettis, man. 20-6. They couldn't score at all lately. And look, they got 20 in the first half. Dallas had a winning streak and didn't look sharp at all until off of Evan Engram into the hands of Donovan Wilson.
We always say on defense, Boom, we got to have it. Tips and overthrows, they belong to us.
Jones said, darn it, it was right. Oh. And so Dallas, they've won 3 in a row. Every one of these teams was 3-7 at some point, but they all had at least a 3-game winning streak. Zeke Elliott cuts it to 20-16. Fourth quarter now. 23-19. Third and goal, buck and a half to go. Andy Dalton under pressure. Just hopes. Yeah, but that Xavier McKinney, Giants take over. They need 1 first down as the rain coming down, cold rain. And Wayne Gallman's going to get it, but then he tries to dribble down court. Oh, no. Oh, no. Dallas says they have it. One official says Dallas, but he ends up with it in the end. Giants.
Yeah, his knee hit the ball, Boom, and then there's a pile up, and the ball bounces back to Wayne Gallman. Great camera angle that showed that Gallman had the ball. Great job by the officiating crew. They got it right. There's Gallman with the ball right there. And just, you know what, outstanding job getting the call right in a crucial situation.
And look, the Giants, they began 1-7. We got to wait for the Washington result, but they could be the first ever, as we speak, could be the first ever 6-10 team to get in the playoffs. But you know what? They had 6 sacks of Dallas on this day, and their defense came kind of like the defense that we saw for about a month.
Leonard Williams was outstanding all day long.
Diana Rossini after the game, Sterling Shepard.
Can I get a Eagles fly from you today? Because you're not.
I don't know about that. Probably be the only time that I root for them boys.
He won't do it. He's loyal to the blue.
Well, they're talking about hoping for the Eagles beating Washington. Meanwhile, Cardinals-Rams, kind of elimination game. Could Kyler Murray go? Well, early on, he's playing hurt, and Rams can do this. Morgan Fox with an 8-yard sack, and Fox lands on Murray's ankle very early in the first quarter. Murray, he's gone. Meanwhile, the Rams, you already know that Goff is out. John Wolford from 4-year starter Wake Forest and yet to throw an NFL pass. Wanted this one back. First one. Jordan Hicks, pick. Oh, my goodness, really? We're going to turn the ball over, and the Cards are going to be in. Who's going to play quarterback? Chris Streveler. Why are we showing Winnipeg against Hamilton from the CFL? Because that's the Grey Cup. In 2019, they didn't play this year. He was the winning quarterback, and that's at the parade.
Man.
And now here he is playing for Arizona. He's the reigning Grey Cup champion.
Look at the beard and the jacket.
Hey, look like Canadian Fitzy. Meanwhile, Streveler, Jonathan Ward. Oh, Arizona. They lead 7-0. Sometimes you just come out with stuff, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Then Cardinals up 7-5. Very Canadian score. Streveler picked off by Troy Hill. Look out. Right before the end of the half. Each one of them served one up. Troy Hill goes all the way. What a backbreaker.
Miscommunication between quarterback and receiver. He thought the receiver was going to stop. He went ahead, and Troy Hill with his second TD return all season.
So now the Rams on defense lead 12-7. Murray, team down 18-7, comes back on, limping. Deep to Sherfield, 26 yards. Murray playing. Now, boy, he and DeAndre Hopkins have produced miracles, but Jalen Ramsey said no miracle here.
Yeah, Ramsey was up to the challenge. Probably could have got a call there, but good no call. When you're playing for the postseason, the ref let him play. Nice coverage by Ramsey.
So the Rams know that a win in Arizona knows loss out, so they fall out of the playoff picture, 8-8. The Rams know that they move one up on Chicago. Well, we'll get to Chicago shortly. It was tough with John Wolford, and they may have to play next week with Wolford at quarterback. Look, they hardly put up points, but they go into the playoffs with a defense that they can count on.
Well, that defense is outstanding, and they have star power. When you look at Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, unbelievable pass rush. You add in Leonard Floyd. Here's the thing that I'll say. We saw Jared Goff throwing the football before the game.
Yeah.
It looks like he's on schedule to play, but even if he can't, this offense is a quarterback-friendly offense. Sean McVay is one of the best play callers in this league. You saw them today. They did just enough. And if you can play defense in this league and rush the passer and run the ball, which we know the Rams can do, you always have a chance to win.
Right, with that front wall that they have and those DBs they have. You know, and they, depending on when the game is, Cooper Kupp could be back. He's their most important receiver. I mean, and especially if Wolford has to play.
Correct.
But they're going to have to score more than just a little bit.
You would think.
Yeah, especially in this day and age, especially if they play a team that they're familiar with. And that would be the Seattle Seahawks, who are playing San Francisco at their home away from home in Arizona. So Seahawks began the late afternoon knowing there were at least the 3. They could be the 2. They could be the 1. For Russell Wilson, Will Dissly, they have their hands full with the Niners, but it's a first down here. Seahawks down 16-6. Got to give San Francisco credit. Like the whole team is hurt. They brought it every week, the defending NFC champ. For Russell Wilson. Really? You can't defend that. Tyler Lockett touchdown.
Look like Russ is still cooking.
He's cooking. He's baking. Now, meanwhile, Jamal Adams hit on the shoulder on the blitz. His left arm hurt. He wouldn't return. That's such a big part of the resurgent Seahawks defense for Pete Carroll. Down 16-12. 2nd and 10. 4.5 to go. Wilson. Let Russ scramble. First down. Late in the drive. 3rd and goal. Wilson. Metcalf. No flag. So now 4th down. The Seahawks are to go. Of course, they're down by 4. And if it's not Metcalf, they are so good in the corner. That's Lockett, right?
Well, they're good because Russell puts enough touch on the pass and he throws it at the perfect spot.
Seahawk defense has been bringing the sacks lately. Adams a big part of it. That's Vincent Mayoa. The ball comes loose. Rasheem Green. Seattle defense has been playing well as of late as the Seahawks are hot. And they come from behind to win over the 49ers in Arizona. So the Seahawks win it, and they're champs of the NFC West at 12-4. Little note on the Niners. They had, 5 games at Santa Clara, 4 in Arizona, 2 at the Meadowlands. I mean, it's been a rough go. They'll be back next year.
They will be back. And the Seahawks defense, forget that historically bad defense. Early in the season, last 5 games, they are a very formidable unit.
Here we go. Saints, Panthers. So the Seahawks won. Saints beat the Panthers. And if they could, they're trying maybe for the 1. Going into the day, they were sitting at 2. Depending on results, could be 3. Drew Brees. You know, all the running backs are out. Kamara, everybody out. COVID, that's Jared Cook. Yeah, but Drew Brees, he's thrown for 80,000 yards. Like, maybe they can throw.
Nice little skinny post there by Cook and Brees. Very accurate.
7-0 New Orleans. Teddy Bridgewater. Picked off. Malcolm Jenkins. Oh, I'm going to come out. Not only am I going to come out, come out, wherever you are. 48 yards. Teddy, trying.
Yeah.
Big turnover. Breeze. Manuel Sanders. They just have a lot of weapons, even if the running backs are out.
Yeah, and Breeze is the perfect point guard like he played today.
13-7. Saints. Bridgewater. Grant Haley. First career interception. Teddy twice in the end zone picked off. Later in the 3rd. P.J. Walker playing quarterback. Oh, and that's off the hands of Curtis Samuel, but Marshawn Lattimore. So, I mean, that's a tip drill, and the Saints are more than happy to grab it. And then 1st and goal from the 3, Taysom Hill. Well, we've seen there's a running back.
The X factor for the Saints in the postseason, Taysom Hill.
26-7. Breeze. Austin Carr. So they wouldn't go away. Drew, the most yards of any quarterback. He got to 80,000. I mean, it's the most in the NFL. Passing even the biggest mark in the CFL a week ago. Anthony Calvillo of Les Alouettes de Montréal. See, it's a CFL.
Okay, I like the accent.
But anyway, French, I can do that. The Saints win, so they're at least the 2. And now, Packers-Bears. I knew it. The Pack win. They're home for the playoffs. They get the only bye in the NFC. They're playing their longtime rival, Chicago, resurgent. Mitch Trubisky, but Aaron Rodgers, he comes out of the gate. Robert Tonyan with the Bears up 7-0. He ties it at 7. That's 45 TD passes for Aaron. Bears have hardly beaten the Bears, and Bears have hardly beaten the Packers the last 6-7 years. Here's part of the reason why. The quarterback, Rodgers, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 72 yards.
Let's add something to Aaron Rodgers' name, not just Mr. Aaron Rodgers, Mr. MVP Aaron Rodgers. I think he solidified the MVP today, Boom.
46 touchdowns now. Trubisky saying, all right, Cole Kmet. When first we commit, it's a fumble. And the Packers recover in Chicago. Fumble before he touches the ground. And, of course, the obligatory these defenses having fun.
Yeah.
You would have been good in these.
I would have been great with these. A little remember the Titans that looks like it.
Yep. Now Rodgers, Dominique Gaffney. First half, Aaron 10 for 10.
Yes.
Hello.
MVP.
Hello. Fourth quarter, but the Bears make it a game. 21-16. Aaron. He moves as well as he ever did. Almost picked. Wilder almost brought it home, but Pack get the break. And you say, you give me a break? Where's Devontae? Da-da-da-dun. Da-da-da-dun. And it's Devontae Adams at the first down. Aaron goes, yeah. Now another Aaron Jones. So playing without their injured left tackle, Bakhtiari, one of the best in the game. They'll have to adjust, but they're up 28-16. Then Trubisky intercepted. He just puts stuff away. He puts it away. I mean, they're not 16-0, I get it. Aaron puts things away, and the Pack are the number 1 seed.
And they have been outstanding all season, and the road to the Super Bowl has to go through Lambeau. And dare I say, Boom, they are going to be tough to beat.
Especially as we talked about, if you don't get energy from your own sideline and things aren't going well,
it's cold,
and it's 10 degrees, I don't know. So the Pack win it, and they go to 13-3. Chicago, though, gets good news. With Arizona losing, the Bears creep in. Oh, they're so happy they're 7 spots in the playoffs. So here you go, right? The Pack, as we know, get the only bye. The Bears are at the Saints. The Rams are at the Seahawks. They split. Seahawks beat them a couple weeks ago, Rams earlier. And the Bucs, Tom Brady and company, on the road at the champs of the NFC East. So the Packers, we understand. Bears, Saints, Rams, Seahawks. Yeah. Like they know each other so well. They really don't have to go too deep into the playbook to know how this game is going to go.
Once, twice, 3 times a lady. Let's do it again. And the key to the game, first and foremost, what's going to happen with Jared Goff? Is Jared Goff going to be healthy? If he is, now the passing game opens up. If he's not, and I'm Seattle, now I can gang up on this running game. If Jared Goff doesn't play, they will need an outstanding effort from their defense, which they're going to get anyway, but they'll need to be extra special because you know that Russell Wilson is going to try to put up some points, and with no Jared Goff, can the Rams score enough points? But that's going to be an outstanding. I know that you know that you know that I know, so now who can counterpoint that? That'll be key.
Well, Jamal Adams will see with that situation, but Seahawks defense has been playing with more confidence, and Russell Wilson still has in him. I don't mean those first 2 months necessarily in the playoffs against a really good team, but there's a high ceiling that we saw in September and October with those receivers. They run the ball. The Rams have had their number until a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly.
That's going to be the Bears have a shot with the Saints.
Trubisky's got to play
a lot of points.
Trubisky's got to maybe play his best game of his career in that dome. I know there are not going to be any fans there, but you just got to know that, especially if they get Kamara back. Remember, we don't know if he's going to be back depending on what day they play, but if they get him back, Drew Brees is going to probably put up 30 points. Can the Bears do that with Trubisky? That's the question.
Drew Brees' swan song, perhaps. I mean, he hasn't said it officially, but that's one of the big storylines as the Saints are the number 2 seed. So, AFC, we know the Chiefs are the number 1. Andy Reid resting almost everyone against one of the red-hot teams. That would be the L.A. Chargers. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, you can go down the list. They're not playing. Justin Herbert, rookie records throwing, touchdown passes, and Donald Parham Jr. You know, that was the first game he ever started week 2 with the shot. Tyrod, they took him to overtime way back in September before the Chiefs won. Now, Kyle Long, 42 yards. Mecole Hardman. Really? Uh-oh. Joe Reed on it. Here come the Chargers. Trying to end real strong for Anthony Lynn. Zing! Austin Eckler, really good player. 30 touchdown passes for Herbert. Youngest player to do so. Younger than Lamar Jackson. We're tied at 14. Herbert, quarterback sneak. 24-14 at the half. Chargers. Herbert. Mike Williams. Where are you? Oh. There you are. 38-21. The Chargers say, can we play a couple more months? Really? Because we're just getting the hang of this thing right now.
7-9, and they probably lost 4 or 5, Boom, on the last possession of the game. Easily could have been a better year. Now they wait to see the fate of Anthony Lynn.
Well, so the Chiefs will go 14-2, and they know that they will have the week off for the first round of the playoffs, and the road to the Super Bowl in the AFC goes through Arrowhead. Colts began the day on the outside looking in. They could win the division maybe, but if they didn't get a loss from someone, they'd be out. Well, they got a loss from Miami early. Now they know winning in at some point, but they wanted more against the Jags. Jonathan Taylor, 65 yards. Week 1, the Jags beat the Colts. It's the only one the Jags had all year. Phillip Rivers, could be swan song for him. We don't know. How about him back in the playoffs? To T.Y. Hilton. Passing Dan Marino, 421.
Reservation for 1. Nice little slant route. Easy throw for Rivers.
7-0 Colts. Mike Glennon starting for Jacksonville. Just trying to get, that's Darius Leonard. Fumble. DJ Carey recovers, fumbles it, but it goes out of bounds. How about Darius Leonard?
Just how he plays, Boom. Defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus blitzes him a lot. He's long, he's lanky, and he's fast, and he can get to the quarterback.
So, Taylor goes over the top. Colts lead 20-7. Little over 8 minutes to go. Jags are trying. They're down 20-14, but Komoko Toure with a sack. Glennon sacked 6 times today by the Colts. Under 4 to go, the Colts at the Jags. Phillips says, you know what? I like you. My rookie running back, he's pretty good. And there's a hole that I might have had a shot to go through.
Run the football, one of the best offensive lines in football. They can do that. Nice draft pick by Chris Ballard, the GM of the Indianapolis Colts.
And even though Costanzo left tackle out, that offensive line for Frank Reich really good. They're in the playoffs. Phillip Rivers in the playoffs. Phillip is 5-6 lifetime in the playoffs. Oh, by the way, 2 of his playoff wins have been against the Colts. Back when the San Diego Chargers, once they were 8-8, as I remember, upset Peyton Manning and the Indianapolis Colts. So where do we think that the Colts can go? Look, Phillip Rivers knows what he's doing, but they have some strong defense and a very good offensive line. Can that get him a win or 2?
As long as Phillip doesn't turn the football over. Here's the deal. They can run the football. We know that. Defensively, we talked about it. It's a defense that bends, but they don't break. They don't give up the big play. So you're going to have to drive the ball methodically down the field. As long as Phillip doesn't put the defense in a disadvantageous situation, I think they will be fine because of the style that they play. They're going to need T.Y. Hilton to continue the resurgence that he's had the last 4 or 5 weeks.
I just think, again, we mentioned Breeze, we have Phillip Rivers, twilight career. I'm not saying he's hanging him up after this year. Maybe he's got more magic. We always remember Phillip playing on one leg in that AFC Championship game in 07 against New England. So Colts are in. They're either wild card or as 7 seed or 4 if they win the AFC South, depending on Tennessee playing Houston. And we're going to come back to that game. Just roll something. I'll find it. Lions, Vikings. All right, there were some other games, and part of it, you know what? This was actually a fun game. Justin Jefferson, rookie, Minnesota, needs 111 yards to break Anquan Bolden's rookie record for receiving yards, 47 to pass Randy Moss. Obviously, Randy was a Viking then. Second all-time. You saw the cleats. He got that done.
Outstanding rookie out of LSU, offensive rookie of the year, in my opinion.
And Kirk Cousins said, Jefferson, you are moving on up. 38 yards. This is the one he passes Randy. We love you, Randy. That's 22 years later, out of the books at least, Vikings, and now Jefferson number 2. And then What do we got?
Maybe one of the worst calls I've ever seen. They call this roughing the passer. How can you make a sack and rough the pass? I don't get that one.
And then yeah, that was crazy. Cousins on a quarterback sneak.
Okay, Kurt with the gritty.
They missed the extra point, 37-29. Matthew Stafford, gritty to even play. One of our favorite players who just never has a chance. That's DeAndre Swift for a touchdown. Lions go for 2. They don't convert, down 37-35. Alexander Madison. And it's a game-clinching first down. The Vikings beat the Lions 37-35. We told you about Jefferson's mark for Detroit. They allowed 519 points this year.
Yeah.
They allowed 6,700 yards. That's more than their 0-16 season. I mean, that's rough.
They got to get the head coach and the GM figured out so they can retool that defense. No more Matt Patricia. You got to get the right guys in there for whoever the head coach is.
You know what, just an aside, this isn't in against Detroit, but if you're unsure about Matthew Stafford in a rebuild, give him a chance these next 5 years to play somewhere where we can really excel on a team that maybe has a shot. Not saying Detroit doesn't, but I'd like to see Matthew Stafford under some bright lights. Titans. Well, we remember the Titans. We remember that they were trying to play for the division in the AFC South. Mike Vrabel's squad trying to beat Houston, and we have something nobody else has. Derrick Henry needs 223 yards to get 2,000. Derrick Henry. You know he's defending his rushing crown, 52 yards. Well, that's a quarter of them right there.
Notice when he breaks away, at 240, nobody still can catch him.
Well, it's 10-3. Henry, look out. You really think on getaway day you really want to lower your shoulder, booger?
Getaway day. Oh, you bring back memories.
17-9 the Titans. Now up 24-15. Henry. Look at this. Just get out. Get out. This man, and he doesn't seem to get tired as the season goes on. We remember him in the playoffs last year. He was unbelievable. Henry would run for 250, breaking 2,000 yards, the 8th ever all-time. Congratulations. Ryan Tannehill's had a really nice year. 31-15 Titans.
Anytime you key in on Henry, Tannehill will hurt you because he is very athletic.
But don't think this is over. Deshaun Watson, Pharaoh Brown, 35-31. The Texans. Now, Brian says a crazy ending. Tannehill, touchdown. Titans lead 38-35. You can see the clock. Tick, 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 tick. 42 seconds to go now. You know, Houston's been in every game, just about, right? Deshaun Watson, Kiki Cutie. J.J. Watt said, you guys don't want to play, don't show up. They showed up. Kaimi Fairburn, 51-yard field goal. Good. Boy, that was good from a long way out. 38-38. 18 seconds to go. Tannehill. A.J. Brown. What a pass.
Great pass, great catch. I wonder the defensive call. Why are you in man-to-man in that situation?
Sam Sloman for the win. It's a doinker. Wait a minute. It doinks in. A doinker? A good doinker. My goodness. The Titans on a doink win the AFC South. The Titans will have a home game. Remember, they were all on the road a year ago. First division title they've had since, let's see, 2008. Texans, once again, I mean, they're close. But just, this time they lose on a doink, not a fumble. And here's the list. E.D., of course, Hall of Famer. Adrian Peterson will be. Jamal Lewis, Baltimore. Barry Sanders, one of the greatest of all time. Derek, T.D., Hall of Famer. Chris Johnson, O.J. Simpson, one of the great running backs of all time. There are your 8 2,000-yard rushing guys.
Congratulations to Derrick Henry, Boom. I would not want to hit that young man 34 times. They will be a tough out next.
Talk about a tough game?
Yes.
How about Ravens at Titans? 5-4. Hot team, hot runner. Steelers home against the Browns. We told you that already. The Colts, Phillip Rivers, will go into Buffalo where it'll be toasty. I can guarantee it's going to be toasty. They're going to have fans. 7-2. And the Chiefs with a, let's see, So Baltimore lost to Tennessee earlier this year, but that's a game that's an eye-opener, isn't it? Henry against the Ravens.
It might be the fastest game all season. It's going to be a lot of running into that football game. The key will be, if you look at the Tennessee defense, they struggle to get to the passer. So Lamar Jackson's got to feel pretty comfortable. Can he hit some big plays down the field to Hollywood Brown? And on the other side, if you're Mike Vrabel, you got to get Derrick Henry going and hit some play-action passes down the field to Davis and A.J. Brown.
And we talked about Buffalo, Phillip Rivers. They're going to have to put up points, Phillip. They're going to have to put up points.
And it's not going to be easy against that defense. Leslie Frazier has them playing well.
Well, they do. Speaking of playing well, I know John Elway at Denver, but there is a man that they call the franchise that we lost here over New Year's weekend. Floyd Little, Hall of Fame running back, one of the best people we have ever met, better person than player. Floyd, 67 to 74 for the Broncos, and he led the league in rushing in 1971, Booker, when the team won 4 games.
Wow.
So say no more. Hill House High School, New Haven, Connecticut, wore the 44 at Syracuse, as Jim Brown and Ernie Davis did. His pressure, and that's 2010. Floyd Little going into the Hall of Fame. The franchise, no better person than Floyd Little. And the Broncos honored him on this day with decals on their helmet. And there it is, Floyd Little. They said the team might not have stayed in Denver had they not had him. And they finally turned the corner. Their first winning seasons were his last couple in Denver. And it took, a decade and a half. Drew Lock, Jerry Jeudy. Fitting that there's an old AFL rivalry game. And Locke fired up the Broncos lead. There it is, 31-24.
Been waiting on Jeudy to come on. He finally started to come on. As long as he catches the ball, he can play with any receiver in the league.
If he can catch the ball, we don't have to go to Judge Judy. Derek Carr, Zay Jones, 37 yards, first down Raiders. Derek Carr, Darren Waller, what a year he's had. 22 yards, down to the 8. 4th and goal at the 1. Well, if they had a couple of these during the season, but they didn't. Josh Jacobs in. Carr says, let's go for 2. They do. Why not? Waller. They get it. And the Raiders, they've had interesting times down at the goal line. But John Gruden says, you know what? We went for it. Waller breaks Tim Brown, Hall of Famer's record for receiving for the Raiders franchise. Congrats to him as the Raiders beat the Broncos 32-31 on a day Denver wanted to play so hard for Floyd Little. Patriots won't be in the playoffs first time since 2008. You know that. Cam Newton, Belichick has spoken every week about his appreciation for the work ethic, the effort, and the leadership of Cam Newton. So against the Jets, he let him have fun. Down to the 15. Longest run by a Patriots quarterback ever. Longer than Steve Grogan, going back to my year. Newton, time. James White, touchdown. Now, we said they were going to let him have fun. Okay, big fella. We're down 14-7, third quarter. Sony Michel, Jacoby Myers, go long. There he is. Look at him put the move on. Touchdown.
Cam Newton threw a touchdown and he caught one. The Patriots are partying in Boston.
14 all. Newton. Devin Asiasi hits a touchdown. Patriots lead 21-14. Sam Darnold, 4 minutes to go, down 7. Jets won the last 2. Not today. Jonathan Jones, pick. Patriots in the kind of sleet. That's what we get up here in this part of the country at this time of year. The Patriots go out on a winning note. They beat the Jets 28-14. They're 7-9, and the Jets, the second overall pick, but they already knew that. And the 2-game winning streak with a loss. They're 2-14. Whew! All the games on a Sunday, but the thing is, in most cases, Booger, the teams that were supposed to win, maybe not as easily or maybe easier than we thought, there were no unbelievably surprising results on this day. That's not usually the way Week 17 goes.
Well, it's not, but by now we know who the better teams are, and that one key word that we always talk about, motivation. The teams that were motivated to win today, even though it might have been closer than the experts thought, they won.
All right, real quick, the Chiefs, look, we know that we think they can name their score, although they've been playing close games, and on this day when they rested everybody, but they're at home. They are the hands-down favorite,
Mm-hmm.
right? Can anybody upend them when they get that far? Can a Buffalo, can a Baltimore, can a Big Ben with playoff knowledge? I don't know. What do you see?
I don't think Pittsburgh can. I think on the AFC side, there are 3 teams that have an opportunity if they play a certain style of football. Buffalo, Baltimore, Tennessee. All need to play their way. Buffalo may have the best defense. Tennessee can run the football. We know what Baltimore can do. I think those 3 teams give the Chiefs the toughest battle.
All right, so over the other side, Green Bay, we know what that's going to be at Lambeau, and we know that Aaron Rodgers is playing like unbelievable, as great as he has ever played, and that ceiling is awfully high. Hot teams, though, include Tom Brady's Bucs, include the Seahawks, include the Saints. Is there anybody else, or can they go? Any one of those go in there and win?
Bucs and Saints, because I think that Tom Brady and Drew Brees have the experience. Tom Brady's been playing in cold weather for a long time. Drew Brees in that offense, but the Saints defense is playing well. Todd Bowles has to get the Bucs defense. In order to beat Green Bay up there, you're going to have to slow Aaron Rodgers down. You can't stop him, but you're going to have to slow him down and be able to take advantage of their defense because it's not the greatest, especially against the run.
Well, Swami, at the beginning of the year, Kansas City against Seattle. I'm alive.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
How about some stories, though? Cleveland, first time in since
Congratulations.
2002.
Yes, absolutely.
How about the Bills? First home playoff game coming up in 25 years. How about Tennessee? First division title since 08. Tampa Bay, of course. First playoff since 2007. Tom Brady marching along. Drew Brees is in. Phillip Rivers is in. Ben is in. I mean, I'm sure I left Fitzy didn't make it. 16 years. Miami didn't get him. But, I mean, we have some wonderful stories to look forward to.
And then congratulations to the NFL. In the year 2020 of COVID,
Amen.
256 games, we got them all in, and now, boom, throw the records out, and it's all about matchups and who performs in the postseason, and that's what makes the NFL playoffs the best because all that stuff you did in the regular season doesn't matter. Who can show up and who can play in January, this is when legends are made, and I can't wait to watch it.
Amen. And did you say throw the records out?
Yeah.
Because the records in the NFC East, you want to throw them out. But if Washington could beat Philadelphia, they'd be 7-9 in the champs, hosting a game. And if they didn't, the Giants at 6-10 could be the champs, hosting a game.
Yeah.
We know what happened for the Beastquake game. Seattle was at home at 7-9 in 2010, and they won a game. Carolina, Ron Rivera, 7-1. Won a game. So not only have they gotten in below 500, they've won games. First things first, Washington in Philly. Could they get in? Alex Smith, Ron Rivera. Scott Van Pelt has the highlights. Scotty?
Boomer, thank you. Here in D.C., there was optimism when Ron Rivera got hired that perhaps he could get this team back to the playoffs, but nobody would have envisioned this path, and certainly not with Alex Smith on the field leading the way. But that was the opportunity that was in front of them on Sunday night in Philadelphia. Washington out to a 10-0 lead. And Jalen Hurts, who of course has come on to supplant Carson Wentz as the starter in Philly, cuts the deficit to 3. Trying to take the lead here and steps into a dart to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Big wide out of Stanford makes that grab. The drive stays alive. Very next play, once again, Hurts. Dangerous in both phases of the game. First Eagles quarterback with 2 rushing touchdowns in a game since Mike Vick in 2010. Washington was going to get the ball to start the second half, but they had a drive in them before halftime, and it ends with a touchdown. Alex Smith to Logan Thomas. Smith had missed a wide-open receiver the play before. This was a much tougher toss and catch, but Thomas, the converted quarterback, now full-fledged tight end, makes that grab. Still a 17-14 game. Smith looking for J.D. McKissick, and Marcus Epps makes a remarkable play as he's going in for the tackle. The ball kind of falls into his lap, and he squeezes it, so Philadelphia's got a chance to take the lead again. 3rd and goal, Hurts. That Washington front pressuring. No, he cannot connect with Zach Ertz. But Doug Peterson, who is often very aggressive, decides to go for it rather than kick the tying field goal. And Hurts cannot connect. They turn it over on downs. And now, in a move that has folks baffled all around the football world, particularly New York Giants fans who needed a Washington loss to get in, Nate Sudfeld is put in. Nate Sudfeld is in. Here on 3rd and 6, he's picked off by Jeremy Reeves. It was effectively a punt as they were backed up there deep in their own territory. But after a Smith interception, Sudfeld can't handle this. Montez Sweat in there to poke it away. Chase Young, who is dangerous once he grabs it. We saw him score a touchdown against the Niners. Frustration on the Philadelphia sideline. Washington gets the ball back on 4th and inches. They draw Philadelphia offside on the hard count. Smith knocked down. Then later in the drive, 3rd and 5, Antonio Gibson. First down will end this game. Washington comes up just shy. They bleed the clock down and elect to punt it back to Sudfeld and the Eagles. And Hail Mary? Nope. A dump down for 5 yards. That is how Alex Smith, Ron Rivera, and the Washington football team go 7-9 and win the NFC East. A date next weekend with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers is looming. Meanwhile, Doug Peterson said afterwards that the Sudfeld snaps were part of the plan. He deserved an opportunity to get some snaps. Sal Palantonio, who joined me on SportsCenter on Sunday night, said he thinks that they're going to remember this for a long, long time in Philadelphia, and not fondly.
All right, Scotty, thank you. Great that you could help us all year long on NFL Primetime. The playoff field of 14 has been set. And just an aside, my opinion, I have no problem with the division champ. I don't care what the record is. Do not change it. It's kind of like odd dimensions at a baseball park. It's one of the rules. You get a home game if you win your division. And if you're the opponent and you can't come in and beat a team with a record that's below 500, you're not going anywhere anyway. That's the way I feel about it.
You know what, Boone?
You agree?
Really easy. I agree with you.
It took all year. It took 17 weeks of primetime. Finally, you see it my way. I've enjoyed the hell out of it.
I appreciate it, sir.
All right?
Absolutely.
All right, my man. Booger McFarland, Chris Berman, thanks for watching regular season NFL Pass.